Hello and welcome back to Founder Focus with Globe Official. I'm your host Sunlight, and today I'm delighted to welcome onto the show Pavel Altukhov, co-founder at TAC. So watch on to find out about everything Pavel and his team are building at TAC and the importance of building on one of the largest messaging and crypto native platforms out there. So welcome to the show, Pavel. Could you
Thanks for
tell
having
us?
us.
Thank you. Yeah. So could you tell us a bit about yourself and your journey into Web3?
Sure. I'm kind of I believe, a contrarian in most of the things I do because of my investment background. And also my journey is a bit different in the sense that I am originally an investor who turned builder. So got into crypto in the beginning of 17, went through one cycle, but started focusing on it business-wise in 2020. On the investment side, and that's my background, asset management, portfolio asset management mainly. We're always specializing in systematic asset management. And apart from doing what we professionally were providing as a service for the hedge funds, I had my, let's say, discretionary concentrated personal account bucket, right? And over there, I was obviously looking for something big. And that's how I was first involved 2018 in ICO of Gram, which back then was to be the blockchain of Telegram, right? Uh, because of SEC, it didn't end well for the investors, I would say. But still, I mean, this that reflecting on this was definitely worth taking, and that was the reason I was following the development around the blockchain technology of Telegram and things happening around it since then. Um, we've invested in early 22 in TON, and understanding, back then it was not anyhow a partner with Telegram, but betting on the thesis that would finally come to fruition. We were looking for the ways to leverage the bet within a Ton ecosystem, and that's why end of 22 I found the first liquid staking protocol on Ton called BMO, and since then, I'm on the path of a builder. Originally, it's on native. That's how I ended up building things. But that is an interesting aspect, as it definitely this path is different to the regular, let's say, Ethereum or different ecosystem one. But it led us to designing first and then building and launching tech as it is right now.
Yeah, that's amazing. So it's so interesting that you've kind of seen all sides of the crypto industry, right? From investor to builder. Could you actually kind of, okay, I know it's very difficult to do, but could you say from your experience as both an investor and a builder, what are the most important lessons you learned from each side of it?
We're lucky to be, me personally, I was lucky to get in fairly early. And from the investment perspective, that means that even in 2017, even BTC was not, Bitcoin was not considered an asset class properly, right? Like big hedge fund managers started to talk about it, but still it was, nascent in a TradFi sense. Obviously, there was a huge upside of that being that early from the asset management perspective, as the investment returns associated with the early adoption phase coming to, let's say, ETF, which is like kind of a milestone, right? That not only allowed you to spend more time understanding how that works, what blockchain is about from an investment perspective, and clarifying the prospect, but also, benefit from fat gains, let's say, within that asset type. So that is a lot. And, for example, I remember back in the days, 2017, a friend of mine came to me and said, like, listen, we've bought those BTCs, right? And I've got those asset managers. They're looking to, they're looking to provide some asset management for us. And I I've high level asked what are the terms, and he was, they're looking into 20-30% investment return. Um, and I was like, okay, I mean, 20-30%, it's like from TradFi perspective, it's quite a big number, right? So you have to be clear there, trustworthy. What's the setup? What's their like track record? What is to form this trust for the asset manager to send them their money. And at the end, I was summarizing like, 20-30% per annum is like a decent return. He was, no, you don't get it. It was like 20-30% per month. And I was like, wow, listen, if somebody is promising you, or at least saying they can earn 20-30% a month, probably they already have their hand in your pocket, right? So you just run, you just drop everything, you turn around and you just run as fast as you can. 2 years later, our systematic asset management, that was year 2000, no, 3 years later. So it was a bull run to 2021. And we had, let's say, 5 months with returns over 20% per month, which was already an institutional grade systematic asset management service we were providing to big individuals and institutions like that. So that, like, from TradFi perspective, that experience and structure of understanding how asset management works is very important. But getting into crypto, you cannot believe things happening that fast, and the growth is that steep, exponential, right? So that was kind of the benefit of being early, and that's why we started looking at that asset management in a different way, and that led to a standalone business development. From the builder's perspective, it's something which, like my personal take is that, investment side of things, your progress is being evaluated by the points which are called money. Which is, for people who have this as a prime driver, it makes all the sense and lasts long, but it kind of lacks sense for those who consider money not the prime driver, right? Because it's like, it ranks you within the competition, judging by the P&L of your investment, right? So that was kind of a moment for me to get to the next stage and building something which adds value, from hormone perspective, dopamine-wise, is more rewarding to the builder, especially when you're building something novel and something which potentially can be considered a step for the industry, right? The next one. This is much more exciting. It's something, this territory is untapped. Like everything you do every other day is something different, and having this kind of a North Star of value to potentially masses, but not just a few clients and not just in the sense of a few dollars, makes total sense for me personally.
Amazing. So I think that brings us perfectly to, what you're building at TAC and how are you different from other projects?
Yeah, so TAC, just to be just to define us, is a layer 1 blockchain. We're introducing a novel TON adapter, which enables Ethereum dApps and builders to access Telegram already building strong user base. We're practically enabling seamless access for Ethereum dApps, a seamless deployment of those on TON, which is part of Telegram. We came up with this thing originally being TON native developer. So we're thinking from the TON side how we can accelerate the growth of our ecosystem. But looking from the EVM side, we are actually allow EVM dApps and EVM liquidity to be part of the TOM ecosystem, which in turn enables the full blockchain functionality. So builders can focus on what is the most important, and that's consumer app cases, use cases, sorry, within the super app called Telegram, right? So it's same infra, let's say, for layer one of ours. We use Cosmos SDK, right? It's Ethereum powered, so it's EVM compatible. That is why the deployment of applications on us for the builders and for the existing applications is seamless, right? Ton adapter, that's the innovational part. That what allow every Ton user and to interact with applications deployed on TAC. One should know that we see that we frame it as a two-step process for the full blockchain functionality to be enabled within Telegram. So first one was done by Telegram and Ton already a few years ago. Even. There is a concept of putting crypto in every pocket. Everybody is referring still to this. It has been done. So literally, it's like 8% of the world population have crypto in their pocket, whether they know it or not, right? So there is the partnership of Ton and Telegram, which is exclusive, and the project which is called Wallet. You just type in Wallet in your Telegram. You don't have to download anything. You just open it up, and it's seamlessly allow you to access storing and transactional function within your messenger, right? So it's done already. The second important part is to allow the full functionality of blockchain. So this ease of onboarding into Web3 through the wallet and wallet interaction on user side serves its purpose and functions as a mean of onboarding users into the application which is using the blockchain in the backend. And this is in our understanding, something which is essentially which is required for the industry to propel itself, right? So it was once again being a closed ecosystem different to EVM stack builder. Provides a lot of insights different to the industry, but the biggest ecosystem from all the perspectives is Ethereum, right? So when you're in crypto, basically you have to position yourself within the Ethereum space. And it was not clear that Ethereum ecosystem, and by that I mean the biggest community of builders first, the biggest variety of applications, which, because of the open source nature of code, were redesigned, redeveloped, and re-audited several times, are battle tested already, right? So the liquidity can trust it, and the biggest amount of liquidity is BTC and ETH liquidity, right? Native one, which capitalized with time. So understanding the importance of that ecosystem and those three parts of the ecosystem, its role in development of every other ecosystem, that's what we lacked actually. We came to a conclusion that we need access to EVM applications because we were looking, how I mentioned already, for the utility for Ton investors and Ton holders, right? In full functionality of it, and as fast as we can. But for that, the apps have to be battle tested, as I mentioned. The liquidity has to be has to trust those applications. So the cost of capital is reduced. You can attract those, and then they become functional. And when this full functionality is coupled with access to distribution, that's basically what Ton ecosystem is. You can even call it Ton Telegram ecosystem, right? Then it is practically a enabler for consumer use case. And consumer use case, to be clear, right? we're living in a world where the community using crypto, or part of it, is referred to as DGen community. It is formed by early adopters, engineers, enthusiasts, let's call it this way, which is a natural process. But that community is a kind of Fugu-centric. It's for us, by us kind of vibes of those engineers who are building and utilizing the mechanics of growing the audience, which is practically bribing in with incentives, same user pack. With those incentive airdrop programs funded by the venture capital, right? So this circle is kind of a standard of the industry. I believe it's now high time to step up, right? And that means that the audience should be extended radically. For it to be extended, I believe it's quite impossible to educate people enough on the investment side and technology side, so people get crypto native, all of them. I believe that TAC is functional enough to provide benefits to every user, meaning permissionless, self-custodied, functional value transfer infrastructure. And that can be delivered without them even knowing what these words mean, right? So this is a long definition of a consumer. But by the way, feel free to jump in and stop me at any point, because I can literally go endless in that regard. That excites me a lot. But a consumer application, that's something which rarely we see in crypto, or only small shooting stars for a short period, not massive at all, still aiming audience which is familiar with crypto as a concept, and that is probably 20 years in crypto with only a tokenized USD. It's not something to be proud about, right? So it's high time we focus on at least on infra. That's what TAC is doing, which will enable the full functionality to be coupled with distribution. And when the reach to the user is just your hand stretch away, that allows the application, the end product, to evolve and take a form of consumer app, which everyone will be using, similar to airplane, flying it without knowing the physics of how that actually works.
Absolutely. So you were kind of hinting at kind of mainstream adoption, right? So you mentioned there's almost 1 billion people on Telegram. So that begs the question, well, two questions kind of. So one, what is the kind of TAC methodology or like strategy to kind of improve mainstream adoption of crypto? And also, on the other hand, it's almost 1 billion users of Telegram. Again, how many of those 1 billion users are actually crypto natives?
I'll start with the last one. So it's probably the most important thing for the builders to understand. And by the way, regarding the builders, I believe we start to see the trend of the industry being less builder-centric, but more entrepreneur-centric. That comes with the development of, with the growth of developers community. Let's say Solidity dev skills right now are kind of a commodity, which is a resource for the entrepreneur to use to build things, right? Essential, but still like part of the resource. Like it's not about building and they would come, right? It's been proven wrong numerous times. Still a dogma in crypto for some reason, but Web2 proved it wrong like a while ago. We counter-position ourselves to this thesis, saying build there here, right? So that's the whole idea of a loyal, large loyal community with a similar success to the TAC of Telegram, which you as a builder of the product should benefit from, right? So answering your question, the difference of the crypto native audience and the audience of Telegram is massive. I believe Telegram is a mean of communication for most crypto natives. We even believe that it is a part of our go-to-market iceberg, as I frame it, as we tech-wise simplify the interaction with the application, Telegram mini apps, blockchain-based ones. That means we abstract away, cross-chain interaction, bridging. It is all taken care of. It's been taken care of on the back end with our stack. You just simply open Telegram mini app, Curve. You can test it in a test net right now. Zero Land, you'll be able to do this in a few days as well. You just one click add your Telegram also native wallet without downloading anything, just simple clicks. You do not authorize the pools when you swap, right? You just one click, you swap and that's it. We believe that would benefit crypto natives once. It will take some time, because I believe that it takes time for them to get the ease of use of this, let's say, a different applicational stack as they're used to. For example, Ton Wallet, which is used to interact with every application within Telegram and for all applications deployed on TAC, will be storing cross-chain assets. Technically, yes, some of them in a wrap format, but basically you'll be storing Ethereum, Bitcoin-based, and Ton-based assets all in the same wallet, right? So this is the UX 2.0, as we call it, and that benefits the crypto native ones. So it's important for them, right? So part of those billion who are crypto natives, they would benefit, I believe, with time from Telegram seamless of the tech with Ton and tech. Obviously the Ton user base, if not all, but 90% of it is Telegram native, right? So that is let's say the step number one from our infra usability perspective in time. We introduce yield within Ton ecosystem in variety of it. We extend the amount of assets available in Ton ecosystem, and basically Ton investor would radically benefit from this. But the biggest part of the go-to-market and answering the question, which part of that billion is crypto native? The biggest obviously is not, right? But this audience is less, let's say, competition for that audience is practically non-existent, because the functionality is still to be discovered with tech in full scale as we bring all the primitives, blue chips of Ethereum ecosystem, LMs, yield aggregators. So now it's high time to see what's the conversion there, but that definitely means that the product has to change. And we once again come back to this consumer app use case. So answering the first part of your question, I would like to I like to frame it that we're doing to enable that full blockchain functionality and that merge of distribution with the functionality. We are doing three things, right? One obviously is the tech info thing, and with the innovation on Ton adapter side. The second one is the ecosystem, Ton ecosystem expansion, where we bring on Ethereum world blue chip applications. and that means they're trusted by the crypto user. That means they are integrated with the next level of app abstraction, meaning yield aggregators. And that, most importantly, is meaningful for the third part, which we work with, is the bootstrapping of the liquidity. So bootstrapping the liquidity, which fills those applications based on the stack which allows it in Telegram. This fused sandwich of those three aspects practically is the enabler of functionality of blockchain, which is already seamlessly integrated by Ton in Telegram, right? So that is when the consumer app is fully enabled. Means it's seamless. The user can be reached in one click. All you have to do is to target that audience, which counts in hundreds of millions. So now figure out the way how to work with with the traffic, how to market it properly, what kind of product is most required for that audience, because the geography is specific, but the benefit, it literally counts in a billion. We had a very famous already merch where the T-shirt, which received a lot of positive feedback. It says to 950 million reasons to build on TAC. So basically, that is a huge number. It is unmatched by any blockchain. And now you can be part of it, even if you are already tested with time, battle tested, and is trusted by liquidity application from Ethereum world. So once again, focusing on enabling the consumer app to build on top of it, because these access to distribution, it's not a distribution channel, it's a distribution mean, right? It's not a site where you buy goods for yourself. It's internet, right? So now it's high time for those sites and applications to be built to distribute that technology into the wild of non-crypto users.
Amazing, thank you. So it seems like there's a huge kind of benefit for not just consumers to be on Ton, but also builders. So could you go into a bit more depth for the benefits of
Yeah,
Ton?
to be clear, our go-to audience and the category of users we focus on are the builders, right? It's either Web3 builders, successful ones who are already developed, deployed, and proven on the crypto level their product market fit within the Ethereum ecosystem, meaning the blue chips, those we bring into Ton ecosystem. That's one thing. And another one are those, as we try to think of them as a new type of builders, even called entrepreneurs, who are using that stack to deliver the consumer applications in Telegram and yet. So for Web3 builders, our thesis is quite clear, and the benefits are quite clear, right? We're EVM for Telegram. The seamless the deployment of application is for them, the better. So if it's fully EVM compatible, but now they face not a hundred of thousands strong user base of new L2 or new L1, where they are thinking of deploying on, but they face that huge number of new potential audience. They can have a shot at converting into the user base. They're super hyped to do that. This is the first time experience for me personally to be building an infra like this. As building the application, even infra related, such as liquid staking, is so much different to building an infrastructure which implies fully technologically and business-wise building out the ecosystem practically. But our team, by the way, which I'm very proud with, my co-founder, he has an experience. He's a co-founder of Layer 2, and he very well knows how that happens. Usually, what are the rules? And his input is immense. But what matters a lot, he was very surprised by the fact that when the value add for the builders is so obvious, you don't have to spend a lot of time and funds to incentivize them. So, for example, we don't do grants. I don't know if that is a new rule within the industry, but we spend $0 on granting any application. More to that, we don't have that in tokenomics, that reserve, because for us, the value add is the reason they come, right? We don't have to pay them to be deployed on us. So this is answering your question. These are the developers we look into. This first category, Solidity stack builders, experienced ones, whom we help to seamlessly deploy, reduce their effort, and open up this gateway to the user base. The other one is the consumer angle. Over there, we're working actually right now on forming several initiatives, including the acceleration program. To do that within the TON ecosystem, focusing on the more narrow verticals of the application, such as games and fintech products, which would be based on DeFi functionality of a TON ecosystem we're enabling with TAC. And that would deliver that in a novel, comprehensive for the non-crypto user base format within Telegram itself, in the Telegram mini app format. So these are the builders, right? So it's interesting that we are practically their only blockchain project on the info side that is not focusing on bootstrapping users, right? So we do not incentivize testnet transactions. That architecturally makes no sense for us. We do not fake these numbers. We don't make them up to impress investors or exchanges or any institutional players within the space. As we are the ones bringing applications and liquidity, meaning the full depth of functionality of those, into an ecosystem of TON and Telegram, which is pre-bootstrapped with users. There is 100 million registered wallets in TON, and there is this big number of users in Telegram. So this is kind of a strange, mysterious thing, position we found ourselves in, right? Because it's usually the rule of building the ecosystem would imply that you would spend resources on bootstrapping user base, bringing in the applications, because there is a huge competition on the infra level. You have to differentiate ourselves. The differentiator of having access to the distribution, it's so strong and unique, because I believe recently announced billion strong monthly active user base positions Telegram as the biggest application after WeChat, right? So this is kind of a unique situation, right? So for us, it's the tech and builders focus, and within the audience, it's definitely the builders.
Thank you. Right. So where do you see the biggest potential for growth in the Web3 space within the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I think the concept of distribution channels matters a lot. It all boils down to the application. But application not in a web app format where you go to the site, connect your wallet, you have to digest the rules of backing up your wallet, you have to be on a network which allows this application and the asset you're looking to do something with be the one compatible with your wallet. These things they reduce the funnel of users so that it literally ends with the builders who design those applications who can interact with those, right? There is a nice concept, by the way, investment and development wise, which I like, which is 1990, right? When there is 1% of the community is are the builders, 90% are the users. In my thesis right now, is that in crypto, those 90 are they consist of those percents of builders of other applications and people native to crypto, and there is a 9% which connects builders to the users, and these are for now the validation layer, which is formed by VCs, their expertise, exchanges, and maybe some useful KOLs, right? But this is in crypto, this thing means different. I mean, it can be applied to the real user base, not familiar with crypto. So we would like to allow builders of applications, even from Web2 perspective, understanding the audience, which counts in millions and not hundreds of thousands, which is not tech savvy, who can use those previously mentioned benefits of blockchain technology. And these should be the distribution channels. And these distribution channels basically are the consumer applications. And, you can look at Apple Store and work with this concept, or you can look in Telegram, which is an open platform for the app builders, and acts radically different to how Apple is looking at the distribution. And at the same time allows or even promotes the use of blockchain technology. So for a blockchain builder, I see that the only option of progressing and getting closer to this adoption or massive use case by building the TMA within Telegram based on the blockchain.
Absolutely. And, and that's what TAC is providing. So perfect. Yeah. So
yeah, it's the best thing. Sorry for interrupting you. The best thing about what we're building is that I mentioned that we emerged from Ton ecosystem, obviously thinking about how to benefit Ton first of all, but then we stepped aside, looked at this from the perspective of Ethereum world, where my co-founders joined me having experience in an Ethereum world, and that was a big validation for our thesis. But we saw that from a different angle, understanding what are the value adds for the industry. And this is the huge thing. Like you look at the industry, you see that it is getting more and more deep tech. And the reason for this, the technology is working for years already, right? It has its proven use cases within crypto. They are pre-filled with liquidity, are fully functional, but it's not the applicational aspect of things which gets the most of the the market cap and value. It is the infrastructure, and when we've started our initial funding round last year, we were facing the the market which was actively raising for Bitcoin layer twos, right? And there were like literally hundreds of projects starting at 100 million valuation. And that's why VCs just stopped funding it, because like, everyone was doing like an infra for Bitcoin and layer two, like execution layer, application layer or whatever. So but usually the deal breaker, like the icebreaker, let's call it, is the application, as that is what is based upon the infra, which starts to make sense when a lot of applications like this are built on top of it. And these are the distribution channels. These are the consumer applications. So that should be that what we think is has the most potential, and when we allowed ourselves to look at it from the higher level, we understood that is a shot at of introducing the use case for the technology, use case in a broader sense, right? Not institutional, not service providers one, but the one which allows those distribution channels to happen.
And it's so interesting that you're kind of, in a way, merging two of the biggest blockchains, right? And allowing that kind of exchange of data. And yeah, it's just really interesting.
Yeah, it's like, what happens when you get all the functionality, meaning all I've mentioned, and all of the distribution, or the most of the distribution. You just, fuse that together. I believe it's even like this, it's enough. You spend some time doing nothing, just looking at it, that will breed something, right? This is the fertile ground. Now it's fertilized, this ground, right? Because if it's just the distribution, it's Telegram only, right? If it's just the distribution with unmatched scalable blockchain, it's Telegram and Ton. If it's the most advanced applications with the most of liquidity, it's just Ethereum, which is struggling a lot these days. But what happens if you combine all of those together, right? So, and this is a super exciting moment. It's a strange feeling. You spend months and days, hours, days and months building this, and you get reassured every time. It's not like regular startup life when it's like, woohoo, we'll make it, woohoo, we're not gonna make it, and every day like this pattern, which is very familiar to every entrepreneur, right? Like here is different. Like you wake up every day, you get more and more convinced because of the feedback from what you're doing, and it's kind of strange, right? So in a good way.
But no, it is exciting times. So what does the TAC roadmap look like for the rest of the year?
Yes, right now we're actively in testnet. A lot of applications being deployed. Follow us on socials to be aligned with the announcements. There was quite a story yesterday with the pre-teaser of Morpho deployment on TAC. Curve is deployed. A bunch of I believe like around 20 applications will be announced and coming starting from practically from today. So we are approaching our mainnet, which is to happen mid-May as the TGE. And by the year end, we will fully deliver the functionality of the infrastructure. As you know, the Ton adapter introduces restaking to Ton. That would be introduced in the third quarter of this year. We even have alternative VMs in our roadmap to be clarified by the end of the year. But I mean, the most important part of it is definitely growing the mainnet, looking at the apps being deployed. At the same time, the liquidity provision campaign we're launching these days will come to an end, and that liquidity will land on TAC mainnet. That will radically increase the TVL of Ton ecosystem. That is by its own big thing for blockchain. Hopefully by year end, we'll see already incubated and accelerated projects by us and partners which will be those consumer applications looking at this, building strong user base, hopefully successfully setting the virality of the motion towards the adoption.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So do you have any closing comments for our audience?
Yeah, great. Thanks for having us. I hope we provided kind of an angle which is less obvious within the blockchain space. We represent a blend of views from within TON and crypto in general. So I believe that is one of the most powerful aspects of our team. So I hope you found it interesting.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time, Pavel.